Hey everyone, it's Nate here with Element Van Life. So I just woke up a little while ago, guys. It's a little after 11 p.m. I'm getting ready to go into my shift tonight at the sugar beet harvest. It should be from about 12 a.m. until 10 a.m. So should be a long night, guys, but I just made myself a sandwich right now for lunch for later, and I'm going to have myself a bowl of cereal and then head into work for the night. So I just, we got finished up a little while ago. Our shift ended at 10 a.m., so it was a 10-hour shift from midnight to 10. I drove over to Planet Fitness and just took a quick shower just to kind of get cleaned off. One thing's for sure, when you're working in that beet lab, there you smell like sugar beets like for the rest of the day until you take a shower once you get out. So definitely important. You know, my clothes, I've been wearing like the same clothes to try to keep everything from smelling like sugar beets. Like I have designated work clothes and designated clothes to wear after I get out, after I take a shower. So it's been kind of fun doing that, but it's definitely it's not a bad smell. It's just a strong, very sweet smell overall. But I've been doing that midnight to 10 a.m. shift for the most part the last few days, and it's been pretty consistent. We did have a little bit of time off because the weather wasn't really cooperating. It was actually too warm for them to harvest the beets, so we had to have a few days off in between. But we're getting down to the wire now, guys. We've got at least a few more days left, if not maybe 5 days left or so, and we're going to be going strong from here on out. So it's been pretty good overall, guys. I definitely have enjoyed the experience. You know, I was definitely worried about the whole night shift thing and all that at first, but you kind of get used to it. You get into a rhythm, you know, and yesterday I was able to sleep all day and didn't have any issues. So it's been pretty good overall, and definitely, I guess, enjoyable for the most part. You know, once it's over, I'm definitely going to be happy to not have to look at another sugar beet again for at least a year, if not longer, but overall, it's been okay. What they basically have me doing in the lab, guys, is just weighing the beets, and then having to make sure that the scale is appropriately displaying the right weight, and then getting that entered into the system the way it should be. It's pretty much all automated, so it is relatively monotonous, but you are there as to check on it and to make sure that things don't go wrong, because if they do, it can really kind of mess up the system pretty badly. So yeah, doing that, and then also I'm at a different station. You kind of alternate between the two, and I'm counting beets and making sure that there aren't any rocks or anything like that in this, you know, on the conveyor belt, because if that gets in there, that'll also severely damage the system. But overall, it's tedious, it's relatively monotonous, it's not really physically demanding or anything like that. It's just kind of mentally draining, because you're just kind of there doing the same thing all night long. But definitely still something I would consider doing again in the future, guys. The money has been great, especially today. It was a double time day, so we made a lot of money last night. But definitely something that I don't regret doing, and I'm definitely enjoying so far. But it is what it is for now, guys. So like I said, I just took a shower at Planet Fitness, and now I got to take care of a few other things while stores are actually opening during the day. You know, it is daytime, because once I get up later, it's going to be 10 or 11 p.m. and most things are going to be closed down, so I can't really do the errands later. So I'm going to go take care of a few things, and then I'm going to get back to the campsite and get some rest. So a lot of folks have asked about how I make money on the road and what I do for income. So I figured that this was as good a time as any to talk about it, just because I've been working so much the last couple of weeks. So basically what I've been doing, guys, for income has been to focus on finding like temporary or seasonal jobs in the places that I go. So I don't really intend to stay in any certain area for a certain amount, more than maybe a few months at a time. So I'll go to that place, I'll work for a few months there, and then move on to the next place. Now, the sugar beet harvest is a little different because it's actually a short-term position. It's only like 3 weeks or so. So I'm only in this part of the country for, when it's all said and done, about a month, and then moving on to the next place. But when I was in San Diego this summer, I worked for actually close to 5 months as a surf instructor there in San Diego. And that was a seasonal job. I mean, the primary busiest time of the year for teaching surf lessons is during the tourist season in the summertime. So that was seasonal there. And then my next plan is going to be to go to the south for the winter and find a job down there. That's been my primary source of income, finding those jobs, and even source of savings. So when I worked all summer as a surf instructor in San Diego, I was able to put away quite a bit of money that I was then able to use to travel this past fall. So when I went up the Pacific Coast Highway and went over, inland over to here, eventually, that month that I spent on the road in late August and September was entirely funded by savings that I had accumulated while I worked during the summer as a surf instructor. So that was part of that plan, and then now I'm going to make a bunch of money here at the sugar beet harvest, and I'll be able to save some of that, and that'll allow me to travel down to the south for a couple of weeks, and then once I get there to have a little bit of a buffer zone and be safe for a little while I'm looking for a job and trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. So my next plan, guys, is to, like I said, head south for the winter, where it's obviously going to be quite a bit warmer, and look for a job down there. I am going to probably be looking for something a little bit more steady and potentially a little bit more higher paying, just because I've noticed, over the past year that month to month, it is tough to make your expenses and all that meet when you're working all different jobs. I mean, for me, I think maybe, I don't know if maybe my expenses are a little bit higher than the average van dweller or not, but it does seem like, especially because of my student loans that make up a huge percentage of my month-to-month expenses, it has been a little bit challenging to make everything work out. I mean, it has worked out, and I have been able to save a little bit, but what I really want to do is put a dent in those student loans long term, so that then in the future I can travel a little bit more easily and a little bit more freely. So my long-term goal is to be able to work remotely full-time, so almost to maybe even have a job and work full-time from the road, so that I can travel within the country and internationally while working full-time. But that's a long-term goal. Short-term, I would really just like I said, put a dent in those student loans and get steady income somewhere for maybe 6 months, long-term, 6 months, maybe even a year, in one location. So I'll probably be sticking around close to one area. Not sure where that's going to be yet. I'm still working on figuring that whole part of it out, but that's kind of where I am. Anyways, I hope this video helped for some of you guys wondering about how to make money on the road. There's no one answer for anybody. There are so many different ways to do it, and there are tons of different ways to make and earn income online. It does take a lot of effort to figure out which ones are the ones that work, and hopefully to stumble upon one that actually generates enough income to allow you to live. But it is definitely possible, and there are a lot of ways to do it for sure. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to post them below, or head over to my most recent Tuesday Q&A video, and I'll answer them in person in my next Tuesday Q&A video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and I'm going to set up for bed because I got to work again at midnight, so I'll talk to you all in the next video.